This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Hi, welcome to Business, Equity, and Opportunities. I'm Scott Sander. Whether you are already an entrepreneur or you want to be a small business owner, each week our goal is to provide you with information and some inspiration to start and grow your own business. We do that by bringing meaningful conversations together with business owners, community leaders who share their insights and expertise in our 7 recurring categories: getting started, gaining access to capital, keeping up with current business events in the week in business, handling accounting and bookkeeping issues, and a variety of topics to help you run your business day to day. We take a closer look at a specific industry each week, and we like to close the show with a success story. We have a new show every Sunday morning on Wish TV. We stream that live on wishtv.com as well, and then post each one of our weekly segments on our website. That's beoshow.com. You'll see a QR code pop up throughout the show. Scan that, it'll take you right to the spot you want to be. While you're there, you can find ways to subscribe to our weekly newsletter and sign up and listen to our Business, Equity, and Opportunities podcast, part of the All Indiana Podcast Network. Here's what's ahead this hour on Business, Equity, and Opportunities. A new report grades economic wellness. Jane King reports on how Indiana stacks up. National Earth Day is this week. We're checking in with the Hoosier Environmental Council and Earth Day Indiana. Another voice weighs in on the subject of financial literacy. The VIP Center for Business Women has a special event coming up, and we have a special success story. So let's get started. When an artist decides to go from independently employed to the owner-operator of a small business, there's some new things to learn. In some cases, the challenges involve strict oversight and rules. We went to Trapdoor Tattoo to see what it takes and whether it's been worth the effort.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Getting started.
My name is Davion Ellis, and we are at Trapdoor Tattoos, the one and only. Obviously, we do tattoos, and we try to make our artwork extremely unique when it comes to those tattoos. And the reason why we're doing that is because it's a form of expression coming from the artist itself, and also helping our clients express themselves as well. Honestly, it comes with experience, because at first you want to understand somebody and like what they're talking about, because they don't understand the artistic side of it, you know? So when they're sitting there explaining the tattoo about how they want to get it done, you kind of just got to understand the person, kind of vibe with their personality a little bit more, just so you can take that character and give them something, or create something that they would really like, you know? So yeah, when people come and they have an idea, us just trying to understand what they ultimately want, it comes with experience for sure. That's where the personality of being an artist comes into play, because you have who you are as well, and you don't want to be represented in a large pool of fish. You want to be the shark, you know? The way that you create your artwork and the energy that you put in it has to be a little unique, you know? When I first started tattooing, I really was working at a tattoo shop, and honestly, it was a little unfair after the years. It was my first tattoo shop, professional tattoo studio that I really worked at, and I was on a 50-50 split with the shop. At first, I thought I was doing really well, until like a few years in, I started talking to outside artists and really seeing what other tattoo shops and other tattoos were doing. Then I was like, man, I know this seems a little unfair, but this is my first opportunity into the world of tattooing. I really was just taking advantage of the opportunity, and seeing at least get my foot inside the door was like super awesome. After that, I met the other shop owner. His name is Säip, and he pretty much told me about his experience and what he did. Like, he traveled everywhere, and when I first met him, he was like, there's something not going on. There's something not right here, you know? So it took me actually about 2 years to understand what he was talking about, because I didn't know. I didn't have the knowledge yet. So after that, we left the shop. At that moment, we were like, you know what? I think that we can do something better. We can create a safer environment where people can trust the shop owner and not have those questions that I had for years that I didn't ultimately know the reason to. Us going on that journey to create a space so that way we can share the knowledge that we did gain from all those years. It was definitely a rough start, especially when we first started. and we opened up in September. And in the beginning, as soon as we were working on the shop, we were so excited. We were like, you know what, this is our tattoo shop, bro. Well, first we would like tattoo all day long and come into the shop like 11, 12 o'clock at night, stay here till 5 and go tattoo again the next day. And after about a month or so, I got into a really bad car accident. I was unable to work on the studio, which pushed us back 2 whole months. As soon as our hip recovery happened and then we got to a good point to where the shop was gonna open, we got a violation on the door saying that somebody reported us saying that, oh, there's a tattoo shop in here. I guess somebody was uncomfortable that we were like putting this kind of personality into the neighborhood at first. So we were like, you know what? Let's see what this is talking about. And after recovering of like 2 to 3 months without working, and then we get this violation saying, hey, now you have this large fine that you gotta pay. We were like, you know what? We're gonna have to go hard this next few weeks. We're gonna have to go crazy so that way we can pay this fine and also invest into the studio. We kicked it in gear 5 and just kind of buckled down and got that taken care of. Lucky thing we had another business partner that really came in and like stood strong on that one for us. We finally got our foot in the door, and after that, when September came, we gladly opened, and luckily we had a few connections in the tattoo community with a couple different artists that wanted a tattoo here. We have such a big, wide variety of people that work here, and that's what makes us Trapdoor Tattoos, you know? When we opened up the studio, we definitely wanted to hire all types of different people because honestly, the community that we're in, Irvington, there's all types of different variations from older people to younger people to straight people to LGBTQ community people. And we wanted to make all that accessible here at Trapdoor Tattoos. So when we did that, we hired a few different people, and also we hired a few different artists as well. So it's not just about the personality, it's about the art style too. Like we have artists that specialize in large color, some artists that specialize in like fine line tattoos. So we're tapping into the personalities of just living your regular day lifestyle and also the personalities of being a tattoo artist. And normally you would see shops that all the tattoo artists kind of tattoo the same thing, which we felt like wasn't really right, you know, because it was almost too cliquey, and it's kind of hard to grow from just being around somebody that's doing the same exact thing as you. Having that experience of being around somebody that does fine line tattoos and also does large color tattoos, you can learn from that person and use those things into your tattoos. Some of the aspirations for growth that we do have here at Trapdoor Tattoos is every other week we would have like art week, and we try to influence the artists that work here to get better at doing art in itself. And we always have the door open too, so that way we are hiring new artists. It'll be the fact that of just sharing the experiences and seeing the new levels unlocked with the people that I'm around. Every time I see that, I'm like sparkly eyes. I'm like, yo, dude, you get it. So it kind of just lets me know that I'm doing the right thing, and the people that are around me, they're also confirmed with that too. So yeah, just experiencing new things and learning new stuff every day.
If you have a business story you think we should know about, tell us. We'd love to share it with everybody. Email us at beo@wishtv.com. Coming up next this hour, Jane King has financial news from the NASDAQ that may affect businesses here in Indiana. Later, we look at the business of protecting Earth as Business Equity and Opportunity return. Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. It is time for our monthly check-in with Jane King to find out how Indiana is doing from a worldwide perspective. Her office, the global electronic marketplace, the NASDAQ.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Access to capital.
The rankings of rich states versus poor states is out, gauging economic wellness and competitiveness. It's from the American Legislative Exchange Council. Indiana ranks number 5 on the list. Indiana was noted for estate tax laws and being a right-to-work state. Meanwhile, Indiana has seen a 19-cent per gallon increase in the price of gas. It was the largest in the nation. That's from February to March. Economists say one reason Indiana gas prices had such a big jump was the eclipse, as hundreds of thousands of visitors came to the state to see the event, driving up demand for gas. The most expensive gas in the state is in the Gary-LaPorte area, $3.82 a gallon. Well, small business optimism fell to an 11-year low. Small business optimism, according to the National Federation of Independent Businesses, says that small businesses aren't feeling especially positive about their future, as labor and other costs weigh on the bottom line. About a quarter of business owners in the survey said inflation is their single most important operating problem. Well, after more than a year in the works, Roche and Eli Lilly have taken a step closer to delivering their blood test designed to aid in the diagnosis of earlier cases of Alzheimer's disease. The FDA has granted their work a breakthrough designation to help accelerate its development. According to the company, a patient's positive result would correlate with a high likelihood of finding Alzheimer's characteristic amyloid plaques through a PET scan or an analysis of their cerebrospinal fluid, while a negative finding would help to rule that possibility out. Purdue is breaking ground on what's going to be the biggest dorm on campus. The building will be put on the south side of Hillenbrand Hall and is set to be Purdue's largest residence hall, adding 900 beds to campus. Purdue leadership says the main concern at this point is to take care of every student who wants to live on campus. Purdue President Meng Chiang says the dorm is yet to be named and it will be complete in 2026. Meanwhile, according to a study conducted by Dr. Michael Hicks from the Miller College of Business at Ball State, Caitlin Clark's addition to the Fever roster would be expected to bring in an estimated 26,000 more fans to Fever games throughout the season, at least 10,000 of whom would be coming from outside the region and would spend money in hotels, restaurants, and other entertainment venues during their stay. Well, Indiana was found to be in the middle of states for environmental consciousness. A new study commissioned by Avocado Green Mattress and conducted by One Poll ahead of Earth Day. The survey found what it means for respondents to be environmentally conscious and how that's impacted their lives. How being conscious affects respondents on a day-to-day level. Almost a fifth said worries about the environment keep them up at night. Of respondents who lost sleep due to worries about the environment, the average person misses out on about 3 hours of sleep per week. And buyers are getting a break on used cars. According to Cars Commerce March Industry Insights report, the used car market supply increased over last year, with average prices hitting a 32-month low of $28,000. Additionally, about 70% of dealers feel inventory levels are just right at the moment. And tech stocks may have led the rally on Wall Street this year, but Goldman Sachs Asset Management is ready to take its profits from tech and run. The firm believes tech stocks will come under pressure and is eyeing investments in energy and Japanese companies. For example, Goldman says oil and gas companies are up 16% this year compared to 11% for tech. Elsewhere, as energy demand surges nationwide, utilities and developers are planning for a rise in new power plants. However, very few of them may run on fossil fuels. Bloomberg reports some 80% of proposed capacity is solar plus batteries. Only 3% of proposed power plants would run on natural gas or coal. Power demand is being driven by data centers incorporating AI and also electric vehicles. From the NASDAQ Market Site, I'm Jane King.
Up next, This Week in Business looks at Earth Day coming up tomorrow and how Indiana is faring in its efforts to help the environment.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Tomorrow is Earth Day. It was established back in 1970 to raise awareness about environmental issues. We talked with Sam Carpenter, Executive Director of the Hoosier Environmental Council, to find out the issues Indiana is facing to this day.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. This Week in Business.
Okay, well, Hoosier Environmental Council is really focused on improving quality of life for Hoosiers through strong environmental policy and practices. So what we do is we have what we call our Green Business Program, and that is businesses that have demonstrated their commitment to sustainable practices, and they're supporting Hoosier Environmental Council, and we're kind of highlighting them as businesses that have done this. What's really important is that small and large businesses are showing leadership on that these issues are important and that they can take action to support a more sustainable environment. So sometimes, and for Indiana to be competitive, so we've invested a lot at our state in terms of attracting business to Indiana. But to really be competitive, we need to have a healthy and place to live with green space and natural places. We also need availability of clean, renewable energy. Businesses want to reduce, they have goals of reducing their greenhouse gas emissions. And it's a challenge to do that in Indiana. There's more solar and wind on a big utility scale level, these big giant developments that provide very much needed energy. On the local level, there's really not much opportunity. So if you want to have solar on your rooftop or in your community, there's not a lot of incentives to do that. And what's going on is there's so much more demand for energy because of these big data centers and AI and electrification of vehicles, that states that have an abundance of clean renewable energy are going to attract more business development in their state. And right now, that's a challenge for Indiana. So one of the things that we're looking for also is community solar. We're part of a coalition working on behalf of community solar that it sounds too good to be true, but it's really not. If you want to have solar benefit from clean renewable energy in your community, all you have to do is subscribe. You save 10 to 20% on your utility bill. You don't have to pay for putting solar on your roof. It's just a subscription, and you're buying from an independent developer has created it, and then you get a credit on your bill from the utility. Now that happens in a number of different states. It doesn't happen in Indiana. It requires legislation to be able to move that forward, and that's one of the things that we're advocating for. There's so many solutions to our challenges that we face on environment, on energy, on climate. There's so many solutions. What we need to do is get the will to be able to act on those and take those. And there's some incumbent and kind of interests that it is change, and change can be difficult. But there are also solutions. And so one of the things that we try to do as the Hoosier Environmental Council is help people understand, appreciate, and move towards those changes that really are solutions for a lot of the challenges that we face. Hoosier Environmental Council very much feels that we're all part of this web, this interconnected web with our natural resources, with wildlife, and in our own lives, and to really protect those, making sure that we're making decisions that they're going to be sustainable for future generations is important as well. Indiana has started its first ever climate action plan. This is through federal incentives through the Inflation Reduction Act. Hoosier Environmental Council had a voice in helping to shape that plan. We participated in meetings. We met with the planners. We also encouraged other people to put their voices out as part of that input. What we want to see is more and more people get engaged. People who care about these issues, but maybe that they're not in the forefront or it feels too big. We want to give people ways to get involved. There's so much that you can do, and I would say one thing that you could do is to learn, sign up for our e-news for the Hoosier Environmental Council. Go to our website. And there's so much information, and we're regularly putting things out for people to learn, to get involved, webinars, actions that people can take, that sort of thing.
This Week in Business is made possible by InnoPower.
Here are a few upcoming business events you might find of interest. April 24th, 2 in the afternoon, the Small Business Administration is offering a free webinar on Federal Contracting 101. April 28th through May 4th is National Small Business Week. The VIP Center for Business Women is hosting its VIP Week conference April 29th through May 3rd. We'll hear more about the event and the theme, One Woman Can Make a Difference, coming up later when Business Equity and Opportunities returns.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
Welcome back. All this month we've been talking about the importance of financial literacy. The theme this year is Inform, Inspire, Ignite. Earlier this year, when Jamie Dimon, CEO of JP Chase, visited Indianapolis, I had the chance to sit down with him. It is clear financial literacy is one of the subjects very important to him.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities, Accounting and Bookkeeping.
You know, we're making mortgages every day to new people. So I think it goes to, again, there's a group of people who don't feel comfortable going to a bank. You know, the next thing I'm doing after this, I'm doing a town hall, but after this I'm going to a community branch, which we put in lower income neighborhoods. They're built or reconstructed by minority groups. We hire locally, the art is local, the food is local, you know, maintain is local. And what we call a community branch, a community manager gets to know all the local religious institutions, not-for-profits, small businesses, and we have what we call financial education and financial health. Come in and we'll teach you how you get a mortgage, how you get a home, how you improve your credit score. And this works. We have 150 community managers, so we're reaching out. The other thing I'll point out, I mentioned it to the print press I just met with, the government can do more. So it's one thing for us to do it, but the government has made mortgages so much more expensive than they need to be with, you know, I think just overburdening rules and regulations on origination. Any one of your folks out there who got a mortgage recently, you know, you're signing 40 documents, it raises the cost for a mortgage, it raises the cost, we don't have a securitization market. And the problem with that is that it raises the cost of a small mortgage by maybe 100 basis points. And therefore, if you're going to take out a $150,000 mortgage, that 100 basis points may be the difference about whether you can afford it or not. And that's terrible, because the best way to build wealth that most people started was their home. And those smaller mortgages would help, you know, minorities and lower income people more than anybody else. So one of the things we do is we try to do our own thing. We also try to fight for policies in Washington, D.C. that we think will be great for America.
In that way, are we over-focusing on things like interest rates, which historically, if you look 30, 40 years ago, are still fairly low? If they're if the added fees and taxes and things of that nature are the real killers of the mortgage.
Yeah, that's a very good point. You know, somewhat the economy is like the weather and interest rates and move around and a whole bunch of different things, but there's so many things we can fix unrelated to that. Inner city schools, get kids jobs, earned income tax credit, how we deal with mortgages, immigration. We have to fix immigration. You know, if you want to reduce polarization, have people feel more comfortable about our country, we've got to fix the problems that they read about every single day. And some will be, you know, some of those problems are for the lower income, some are just generic, like immigration, that people don't want to see that we can't control our borders. And so there are so many things we can do that it is amazing. And, you know, and government should do some, business should do some. Obviously, you can't do it without collaboration between government and business. So when we work in towns like Indianapolis, you know, we have great collaboration. We've been here for, what, 180, 190 years. We bank a lot of the companies here. When the government asks us to help in a bunch of things, we're right in all the time. We want them to work, you know, and but collaboration makes a big difference.
What are challenges for a place like Indianapolis and neighboring states and cities?
I think they're pretty much the same. You know, I mean, you have wonderful universities, but if you look at kids, they got to be educated to get jobs. Too much focus in education has been on, you know, graduating college or graduating this, but it should be on jobs. I think schools should be measuring, did the kids get out and get a good job? So you could be a teller and make $40,000 a year as a 17-year-old. And if you're, you know, if you happen to have a family at 18 or whatever, you know, you get $20,000 in medical benefits for your family. And so you could be a welder, you could be a coder, you could be cyber, you could be automotive, you could be all those jobs are $40,000 to $60,000, $70,000 a year. So jobs, education. I know there are a lot of efforts taking place in Indianapolis and around the country, but I think we've fallen behind as a nation. These other programs I mentioned, to help the lower income neighborhoods, affordable housing. I'm not an expert about affordable housing here. A lot of people talk about it being a big deal to grow and create jobs, but in a lot of places, it's the local laws that stop affordable housing. It's not that you can't get the loan or the bank to lend the money there. They can't build there, or the building is so expensive it takes too long. Permitting. I mean, my guess is if I took a bunch of companies here and asked them what's slowing them down, they can't get federal, state, and local permits. So they can't build that next thing, and so those things we should fix. And some of them are local. Some places are great at this, and some are not as good at it. But the ones not as good at it are driving out jobs. And the other thing which I'd say is collaboration. Business is not demonic. Business creates the jobs. 160 million people, or maybe more now, go to work every day. 140,000 work for business. Most of them actually like their jobs. This notion that they don't, fundamentally is not true. And we train people and give them opportunity, and that's true for big companies and small companies. So being conducive to business and collaborating with business is how it works.
Up next, we visit the VIP Center for Business Women and find out what it has planned for its upcoming conference. The theme, One Woman Can Make a Difference. That's coming up on Business Equity and Opportunity.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Angie Nuttle is the founder and CEO of the VIP Center for Business Women here in Indianapolis. It aims to provide a safe environment for corporate and entrepreneurial women to find the tools they'll need to be successful in business.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Running your business day to day.
This is the VIP Center for Business Women here in Indianapolis, and we help women in business to grow in faith and in business. So our place, we accommodate corporate and entrepreneurial women, helping them to grow in business and also to learn how to be profitable and influential in business. But on top of that, we also do private event booking, and we have Airbnb rooms for female guests. So VIP Week Conference for Women is coming, and this is our 5th year doing it, and it's just grown every single year. Our theme this year is One Woman Can Make a Difference. So we've got about 29 speakers who are going to be coming and sharing a wide diversity of topics, learning clinics. Some are going to be more inspirational speakers, and we just have such a diverse lineup. I can't wait to hear all of them speak. Every single one of them is dynamic. But what's interesting about our speakers is we are a conference that we give new speakers an opportunity. So we're all about creating opportunities for people. So we're going to have very seasoned speakers, but we're also going to have some that are getting on stage for the very first time. We have a wide variety of opportunities. Most of our opportunities happen through our membership. So we do have a couple of memberships. We have our VIP business membership, and we do a lot of group coaching. So we teach women how to be successful in business. Very practical ways, but also strategically. So you can be in corporate or owning your own business, and that membership would be good for you. So we also have a faith-based membership. It's the Purple Life community. It runs across the United States. So we have members from all over, and it's our fastest growing membership. Another thing that we started this year, we started what we call VIP partnerships. So we work hand in hand with entrepreneurial women to help them to get visibility and exposure for their business. And we also customize packages to help them to do the things that they don't really want to do and don't know how to do. We're taking care of that for them while they're focusing on actually running their business. So we do everything from their website, marketing funnels, business strategy, their branding, the whole 9 yards. I would say that women are a lot more courageous than they used to be. Since COVID happened, women are not afraid to step out. We have a lot of corporate women who decided to take side gigs And we have a lot of those women in our community who are seriously considering taking that leap, and so we help them to take that leap. But in the meantime, we also are very big on authentic networking. So we do networking events. We have a networking dinner every month, and it's a good mix of women from all walks of life that come together and connect. They leave with friends, they leave with real connections, and it's really powerful to see how the community supports each other. I mean, even today, we've got a lot of things going on here at the VIP Center, and I had a couple of my members come in to just give me a hand on their off time, just because they feel like they're a part of the community and they want to come and help. So I've just seen where women are stepping up to really open up more to each other and be open and trusting towards one another in business. We have a member who's 70 years old and she's still going strong. She's a coach and she's a speaker. We have lots of ladies who have come and just decided that they were going to reinvent their lives and they were finally going to be doing the things that they wanted to do. What's cool about that is we latch on to that. And so every year at VIP Week, we offer a VIP Business Women's Scholarship. And this year, we are opening it up to any woman who wants to further their business. They can be a brand new entrepreneur. They just have an idea in their head about what they want to do. Or they can be in business and they need to scale. So we're offering a scholarship that includes $1,000 of seed money that they can do whatever they need to do to build their business. And then we're also giving away a done-for-you service for them, so they can choose to have us do their website, their marketing funnels, help them with business development, coaching, and strategy. So we're really excited about that. We have quite a few applicants already, and we're going to be narrowing that down here soon, right before the conference, which is April 29th through May the 3rd. And we're going to have the 3 finalists presenting on our last day of the conference. So we do have Airbnb rooms. We have 5 of them, and it's a very unique situation. You don't find many of these, if you find any of these, but we have women coming from all over the United States, traveling nurses, healthcare professionals, college moms, and they want a safe place to stay. And so our Airbnb is known as that. We have 3 layers of security, and it's a beautiful space. They always walk in and just talk about how it just feels so peaceful and they're at home here. And we love that. We love connecting with them. They will come down into our cafe in the mornings, have coffee with us, and we just get to know a lot of incredible women, and many of those women even become a part of our business membership or our Purple Life community. What I'm excited about is that I got a God memo last year that said we were expanding. So last year we held our 2nd Purple Life conference for Christian business women, and this room was absolutely full. We had 90 ladies in here, and at that moment I realized we're going to have to get a bigger space. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about how we're expanding and growing. And our goal also is to really focus in on lifting women up in business and helping, especially entrepreneurial women, to answer the calling that they've been called to. And they simply need that help, and that's what I love. That's what I love. I love helping to get them going in the right direction so that they can start connecting with clients and selling their products and services, but most importantly, being about the Father's business.
Running your business day to day is made possible by Circulus Digital Media.
If you'd like any more information on segments like running your business day to day to help you get your job done, follow our QR code. Scan it right now. That'll take you to beoshow.com. Coming up, we travel to Garfield Park, catch up with the director of Earth Day Indiana. He has news about how the state is celebrating Earth Day every day. Welcome back to Business Equity and Opportunities. Greg Ziesmer is the Executive Director for Earth Day Indiana, which is preparing for Indiana's upcoming Earth Day celebration in June. He gave us a preview with some of the news of the expansion of activities throughout the year.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities. Industry Focus.
We celebrate Earth Day Indiana, and we are at Garfield Park, which is the current site of the festival, now in our 34th year. I can't put on this Earth Day Festival without the support of my corporate sponsors. A lot of my corporate sponsors have names that ring of industry. Cummins Engine, Honda, our biggest sponsor as far as the cash that they donate. But you go and look at their websites, AES, Indigo, you look at their websites and you look for commitments to conservation, environmental sustainability. Go and research what they're doing. Look at the background of where they're going. This isn't something like a light switch that we can just turn on, and make happen overnight. You mentioned the word industry. Well, industry is energy, and energy is industry, and energy is an inert thing. It just is waiting for direction. It's a tool. So what do we do with industry? Well, we redirect it. And Earth Day is, our function as Earth Day is kind of not holding their feet to the fire, but a mutual sense of responsibility that we got to do this because our kids are depending on it, and it's our job to defend them because we've done things wrong for a long time. As long as we've had industry, especially since the 18th century, in the Western world particularly, we've made a mess of things. We can take all that energy, we can take all that technology, and we can do something positive with it. And so my job as Earth Day Director in Indiana is to partner and help promote these efforts that these corporations are doing to try and change their direction, but also not allow them to greenwash, right? It's got to be sincere, it's got to be real. And for instance, Subaru, zero waste in Greensburg, Indiana. That's what we're looking for. And those are the corporations that I want to partner with. And if you're not sincere, then we really can't do business. You're either on the bus or you're not on the bus. But the bus is leaving with or without you. And so for small businesses, I think coming in from the ground up green and making that a part of your business plan is advantageous. And it certainly can't hurt. So why not do it? And then as far as Earth Day Indiana and the festival is concerned, if you're doing that, go to and become an exhibitor at the Earth Day Indiana Festival. We have booths available, 10 by 10 foot booths. We have 3 huge tents. We have close to 80 to 100 exhibitors every year, and they come from all walks of life. But the point is your focus sustainability and repurposing and recycling? Is it green? Are you working towards trying to do whatever your business is in the context of saving the earth, or at least not harming it? If you're a business, for instance, that would like to exhibit it at the Earth Day Festival, we would welcome you with open arms. We'd love to have you. All you need to do is go to our website for Earth Day Indiana, and on the homepage there you'll find a button, right? Just scroll down a little bit, you'll find a button that says Exhibitors, Learn More. Click on that and you can submit a registration form electronically, and it shows all the things you can do. We will provide you with tables and chairs. There's rentals for that. We have a booth for you with 80 to 100 other exhibitors that are like-minded and are looking for the same type of exposure, but also networking and sharing with one another. You'll meet up with other businesses that maybe you can partner with. It's a lot of opportunity there, and I would be more than happy to help your small business get that kind of higher exposure.
This year's Earth Day Indiana Festival will be held Saturday, June 1st in Garfield Park. Again, Earth Day is this week. If you'd like more information about this or any of our industry-focused segments, visit our website, beoshow.com. When we return, the always special success story.
Every business is unique, and every business has a target audience. Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble to reach a customer base that spans the globe. Pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. No matter the size of your business, put Circulus Digital Media to work for you and get results.
Welcome again as we wind down the hour here on Business Equity and Opportunities. We find out each week that success in business comes in a variety of forms.
This is Business Equity and Opportunities Success Story.
Success finds many forms and fashion. Sometimes it's a work in progress. To that end, a new friend, Jeremy Yost, is kind enough to join us now to talk about opportunities that are out there for people seeking jobs, specifically former members of the military. This is an opportunity for veterans. Jeremy, thank you. Tell us about the organization you're with and your hopes for this event that you have planned.
Appreciate you for having us. I'm with Disabled American Veterans. Our main focus is helping our veterans transition from active duty service to the civilian sector, whether that's them just transitioning currently or if they transitioned years ago. We don't care either way. We're going to make sure that we take care of our veterans and their spouses as well. So the centralized job fair that we're doing next week on April 23rd on Tuesday is for active duty members, veterans, reservists, or their spouses as well to join. We currently have over 46 companies that are going to be at that job fair. Ones including Parsons, Amentum, Cisco, Waste Management, Department of Labor, Lockheed Martin, and General Dynamics will all be there during that event. It's going to be between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m. Central Time. And we have over 250,000 jobs with over 1,600 companies also on the job board. So you can search whether it's at the event or on the website to find your next opportunity and next career.
Let's talk about that because those numbers are so strong, so good, they almost feel a little bit daunting. Like somebody may feel like, oh, I don't have the expertise surely to do this. You've got a pretty broad range out there. And is it fairly easy to do that search to winnow down what might be best for them?
Yes, you can just go onto our website. When you go on there, you can search the next closest job fair that you have in person, or like next week, we have one that is virtual. And you can click on those and register for free and be able to see the companies and the jobs that they have available. If you're looking to search for jobs not for a job fair, you can just go into the career opportunities section, type in whatever keyword you're looking for. So if it's, give an example, informational technology. If you're wanting to do that remote, you just type in remote afterwards and hit search, and it will find all positions that are remote. If you're looking for something in person, just put your location. We say zip code's better than city. Prime example, Atlanta has over 20 zip codes. It could be a 2.5 hour drive from where you're at, but if you put your zip code, it's going to go 25 miles around the zip code. Then it will pull up every single job that you're looking for. You'll be able to click on them, look at the information, look at the requirements, any education you need. Some will put salary on there, and then you can click and apply, upload your resume, and it will automatically be sent to the company.
In this role, of course, what we're talking about is an opportunity for the disabled American veteran who may be out there looking for this new path. You, though, in setting this up, I'm sure understand the strengths of those folks, the very reasons that maybe our viewers who are prospectively looking to be a business owner someday may be able to say, listen, this is what I bring to the table.
Yeah. With military veterans, they bring a lot of experience, a lot of knowledge, and a lot of attributes that a lot of our civilian sectors don't have immediately during those younger years that you have when in the military. Prime example, when we talk to a lot of the companies that we're working with, one of the major factors that they have is just individuals that are willing to learn and show up to work on time. And that is something that is ingrained in the military immediately day one on how to focus on that and be able to use it as a starting point to move forward in your career.
And then the prospective owners that are watching right now might be thinking, well, I love the idea of being involved in a job fair from the opportunity side. I have, for instance, an opening that I'd like to see filled. You've got this in-person one coming up quick. Let's move the ball a little bit down the field. for future events, could our viewers be involved in this?
Oh, most definitely. The best way to do that is contact us on jobs.dav.org. There's a section on there that you can click on and send your information to us. Our employment specialist will be more than happy to go over that information with you, and we can see if you could possibly join one of our job fairs in person or a virtual one in the near future.
When someone does that, is it an ongoing process then? Can they continue to be involved in this, or do they have to just pick one to be part of?
So they can pick as minimum as one, or they can go as many as they want. We could also talk to them about our corporate partners team, and they could go over in detail on how that will work depending on if they want to do one job fair or multiple ones.
Do you find that the online one offers some good opportunities? I mean, you can go through an awful lot of information really quickly. Face-to-face is great, in-person handshakes are important as well, but the online opportunities would seem to give some too.
Yeah, and a lot of our online ones also have it where the company can contact you and do it by video and actually talk to you face-to-face through video or Skype and go over those questions as well. And one of the things that we get told a lot by veterans, they think that they're all virtual, like jobs or remote positions. They're not. A lot of these companies are also looking for positions across the country because of how big they are, where they might have a position where you don't have to move or relocate, and you can actually go in person if that's something you want to do instead of a remote position.
Well, and I don't want to make a presumption here. I am not a veteran, but I have enough of them in my life to know that at least in some cases, becoming a member of an in-person group can be a very important part to moving on to the next phase after service. Does that seem to jibe with your experience?
Yeah, and with DAV, you can join DAV and help out over our 1 million members, or we will help you for free and you don't have to become a member. So whether you want to or not, we're here to help you, whether you are a member or not.
Well, we appreciate your time today. We look forward to seeing how the job fairs go, and we'll put your link on beoshow.com as well so that our viewers who know that link well will be able to find you quickly. Best of luck, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for joining us this week for Business Equity and Opportunities. We have a link to all the segments that we aired today on our website, beoshow.com. Scanning the QR takes you right there. And if you have questions or suggestions about what you'd like to see, shoot us an email, beo@wishtv.com. Join us next week for more Business Equity and Opportunities. Till then, I'm Scott Sander. Have a great day.
Business, Equity, and Opportunities, made possible by InnoPower, Bose McKinney & Evans, Gemco, Fifth Third Bank, and Indiana University, Indianapolis.